Okay, guys, here I'm going to be talking about the possibilities for use of the languages that you already are familiar with, depending on your skill set, like we said before. First and foremost, people think I'm biased when I talk about using C++ for this exam, right? Because they always go, oh, it's because you like the language, it's because you think or you have your own sentiments towards that. No, it's not really about that. Every language has its place in the world of development, right? So if I was developing a web app, for instance, I would want to use JavaScript and probably use Python. So yeah, I would choose based on what I'm executing and the execution I'm planning to undertake. So therefore, for an exam like this, you want to choose the best thing that will cover all sorts of fronts. So let's look at the question. For instance, let's look at the question like this question. And here you're told to develop an algorithm to print a table of various sizes. So an algorithm is what you're supposed to develop. Now we already know that you can develop algorithms, or well, if you don't know, you can develop algorithms using 4 things, or but mostly people use this pseudocode or flowcharts. Before the exam, some people write written descriptions of what they expect or what they think an algorithm can do. And I think some people have said they got marks for it, right? By standard, you want to choose pseudocode or flowchart if you have the idea. Or if they tell you specifically to write a pseudocode for your algorithm, then go ahead and use a pseudocode. But if it's not stated explicitly, then you can decide to choose to write your algorithms using program code itself or written descriptions. And if you're a little worried about this whole idea of using program code, so if you strictly want to stick to pseudocode, well, if you're very familiar with program code, you can write program code first, just scribble that on a piece of paper and then convert that to pseudocode. It's faster that way. I think I found that it's faster that way to think like a programmer who knows how to write algorithms and then convert that by removing most of the syntax, the programming based syntax, and then converting it to pseudocode syntax. So it's just a conversion. Pseudocode ends up being converted to program code. So why not work in reverse, convert program code back to pseudocode, and that way you won't have to worry about things that you're unfamiliar with. Okay, so we've seen this. You can write all of this. So for this question, we'll be developing our algorithm using program code. If you want to change it to pseudocode, I think somewhere along the line in the question set, we will see questions that require us to go from program code to pseudocode. So we'll convert this to this. The essence of this video is to help you guys understand that when you're asked a question, you are sometimes told to program in the language of your choice. Now, they've given you a choice. It's okay to do that. Like the level 5s and level 6 they say things like that all the time, right? And they're a little bit less authoritative on those levels, but the ambiguity still rises in situations of the level 4 where you are told at one point to develop an algorithm, right, using just pseudocode, or write a program in the language of your choice. But then along the line, you start seeing problems that are related to languages like C and C++. This looks like something I would understand because I understand C++. Now, in a case like this, they didn't tell you to write a program in the language of your choice. Yeah, they are telling you to read the program in a language that is not of your choice. So we see that there are 2 types of questions, right? That are the questions where they ask you to program in the language of your choice. Then you can go all out. If you're not familiar with a certain language, you can go all out and use the language you are very familiar with. And you just have to state it that, oh, I'm using Python here, or I'm using JavaScript here, and then you solve what you want to solve, and then you move on. But then there are other questions that do not give you a choice. They are just saying, read this code that we've written in a language of our choice, which happens to be closely related to C or C++ or Java or C# because they all share the same syntax, and then tell us what is happening. So that's just that. For this, our execution, solving the questions from the beginning to the end, we will be using C++ for our practice. So I think that's basically that for this channel. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.